What makes a woman's wardrobe spark global conversation? How can a single outfit stop time, dominate headlines, and rewrite the rules of celebrity fashion forever? For Kim Kardashian, fashion isn't just about clothes, it's a language, a legacy, and a form of storytelling the world can't stop watching. From jaw-dropping red carpet gowns to futuristic Met Gala looks, every Kim Kardashian fashion statement has become a cultural event of its own. Tonight, we step inside her world, the world of sequins, silhouettes, scandal, and style. Uncover the story behind Kim Kardashian's most iconic fashion statements ever. The camera fades in to the soft hum of flashbulbs. It's 2013, the Met Gala. Kim Kardashian arrives, pregnant with Northwest, wearing a Givenchy floral gown that would soon divide the internet. Some called it daring, others called it disastrous. But years later, that moment would become a defining chapter in Kim's evolution, a woman unafraid to be misunderstood. On her journey to becoming a global fashion icon, the crowd didn't know it then, but they were witnessing the birth of a fashion revolutionary. As the narrator moves through the flickering images of red carpets and paparazzi flash, Kim's transformation unfolds an evolution from reality star to haute couture muse. Once known simply as the girl from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian used fashion as her weapon, her armor, and her art. She would go from dressing for attention to dressing for history. Each outfit became a statement, intentional, cinematic. Unforgettable. Cut to 2018. The Met Gala once again. Kim walks the steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in a shimmering gold Versace gown, her figure sculpted to perfection. The theme was heavenly bodies, and Kim embodied nothing short of divine. The cameras followed her every movement as if capturing a celestial being descending from the stars. Behind the lens, whispers echoed through the crowd. This wasn't the same woman from Calabasas anymore. This was Kim Kardashian, the fashion deity. But before the glitz and grandeur, there was struggle. There were moments of doubt. The documentary lens pulls us back to the early 2000s, the time of juicy couture tracksuits, oversized sunglasses, and Louis Vuitton handbags clutched tightly under the arm. It was a different era, and Kim was still finding her place. She worked as a stylist for celebrities, quietly learning the power of fabric, fit, and fame. Her early looks, bodycon dresses, sky-high heels, and bold makeup became her trademark. The tabloids mocked her for it, but Kim never flinched. Every critique fueled her ambition. The narrator's voice softens. In every icon story, he says, "There's a moment when the world begins to look, not just see." The Vogue cover. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West standing together as symbols of a new generation of style. Power. It wasn't just a magazine spread. It was a cultural earthquake. The world's most prestigious fashion Bible had crowned Kim not as an outsider, but as a legitimate force in fashion. That cover marked a seismic shift. The girl once dismissed as famous for being famous was now shaping fashion's global conversation. The screen transitions to archival footage, Kim's Balmain era. The structured jackets, the metallics, the fierce silhouettes. Olivier Rousting saw in Kim what the fashion world had missed, a muse who understood her body, her power, and her influence. Their collaborations blurred the line between celebrity and couture. Every Balmain look Kim wore became a viral moment. From Paris Fashion Week to the streets of New York, she wasn't following trends anymore. She was creating them. Then came 2016, the year that changed everything. Kim Kardashian's fashion took a sharp turn toward the avant. With Kanye West's Yeezy brand, she embraced minimalism and neutral tones, reshaping modern Gone were the loud prints and bodycon dresses. In their place earthy shades, latex bodysuits, and sleek silhouettes that spoke of quiet confidence. This was a new kind of statement, subtle, sophisticated, unapologetically Kim. The narrator continues, voice echoing against cinematic strings. In the silence of beige, she found her loudest voice. Cut to a montage of Kim's Yeezy Season 3 appearance at Madison Square Garden. Surrounded by models in nude-toned ensembles, Kim stood at the center of vision of restraint and strength. It wasn't just fashion, it was performance art. Her image, soft, still commanding, symbolized transformation. The world realized that Kim Kardashian had evolved from influencer to innovator. But fashion, for Kim, wasn't only about aesthetics. It was about narrative. Each look told a story about motherhood, ambition, heartbreak, and reinvention. Her 2019 Met Gala look, the Mugler wet dress, remains one of her most iconic fashion statements ever. Designed by Thierry Mugler, the crystal-dripped corset created the illusion of water cascading down her skin. It was otherworldly Kim, emerging from fantasy itself. As the documentary plays slow-motion footage of her walking that carpet, the narrator whispers, every droplet was a metaphor for the pressure, the scrutiny, the perfection expected of her and how she wore it like art. But not every look was met with applause. The Marilyn Monroe dress controversy at the 2022 Met Gala sent the internet into chaos. Kim Kardashian wore the actual gown Monroe had donned in 1962 to sing Happy Birthday, Mr. President. Critics debated whether it was preservation or provocation, but for Kim, it was homage. She didn't wear the dress to shock, the narrator says. She wore it to honor the women who defined glamour before her. In the backdrop, the film shows the care, the preparation, the extreme measures she took losing weight, studying Monroe's walk, practicing her movements to protect the fragile fabric. Whether one admired or opposed it, the moment was unforgettable. And that's the thing about Kim Kardashian's most iconic fashion statements. They demand a reaction. Indifference has never been part of her vocabulary. Through every evolution through latex, Balenciaga futurism Skims, Simplicity Kim's fashion journey has mirrored her personal one. The narrator's tone deepens. When she became a mother, her wardrobe softened. When her marriage ended, her style sharpened. Each metamorphosis was woven into the seams of her clothes. The camera cuts to Kim on the streets of Milan, walking in Balenciaga's black bodysuit with a full face mask. It was mysterious, almost alien. Critics called it extreme, but for Kim, it was liberation and experiment in identity and anonymity. By covering herself, she became paradoxically more seen. It was fashion as philosophy. As the scene fades, the narrator continues. Every icon has a rebellion. This was hers. From Met Gala fantasies to everyday elegance, Kim's fashion moments tell a larger story about influence in the digital age. When she launched Skims, her shapewear line, it wasn't just a business hit, it was a cultural movement. Inclusivity, body positivity, and design merged seamlessly into one brand that redefined modern comfort. The same woman who once built her image on spectacle now championed subtle empowerment. The camera pans over her, SKIMS, campaigns, diverse, elegant, global. The narrator observes, for Kim Kardashian, fashion has always been more than vanity's vision. As the music swells, we see flashes of her most iconic fashion statements. The sheer Roberto Cavalli gown from the 2015 Met Gala, the silver Balmain jumpsuit from Cannes, the latex ensembles in Paris, the dazzling Mugler creations, the Skims bodysuits that revolutionize casual. Each frame is a story, each stitch a symbol, that the narrator speaks with reverence. Few women have turned fashion into mythology, but Kim Kardashian did. Her looks don't just live on Instagram, they live in history. The final scenes bring us to the present. Kim walks through the dim corridors of her Skims, headquarters minimalist, modern monochrome. She studies fabric samples, discusses designs, her tone calm yet assertive. This is not just the woman who wears the clothes. This is the woman who builds the empire. The narrator delivers the closing words. As slow piano keys fade in, she began as a stylist. She became a sensation. She was mocked, idolized, analyzed, and immortalized. But through every thread, every gown, every scandal and success, Kim Kardashian turned fashion into power. Her most iconic fashion statements were never just about the clothes. They were about confidence, courage, and the evolution of a woman who refused to be defined by anyone but herself. The camera fades to black. The final sound, the click of a camera shutter, one last flash. Freezing Kim Kardashian in time, because in the end, fashion fades. But icons like Kim Kardashian never do.